Hey, what's going on? Thanks for coming back. Today we're going to go over the first item on the list, and it's the mash tun. Now the mash tun is where we're going to put our grains, our steeping water, or strike water is what it's actually called. And we're going to convert those grains over and get the sugars out of them, and we're going to get our wort collected from out of this. So here in a few seconds I'm going to give you a look-see inside and show you what I got. There's a lot of different items that you can purchase, and you can do copper tubings. I've seen people take a Dremel, cut some little slits, drill some holes. You can get real creative on how you want to make your manifold. Braided steel lines that people use. All different ways to go. I've opted to actually go with a prefab manifold. Stainless steel tubing, all the way down to the valve. That way I can clean it, keep it clean, sanitize. Just a little more peace of mind that everything in there is working, and I don't have to worry about getting clogged mash or any of those things. Not that that still can't happen, but at least that not so much maybe from the manifold. Stick with me. We're going to give you a shot on the inside here in a few minutes, and then we'll go over the overall process of putting this thing together. It wasn't really too hard. A couple nuts, washers, pretty simple. But if you're going to go your route of making your own, you might have to get some fitting, some solder, depending on how you go. Clamps. There's plenty of YouTube videos out there to show you how to get it done. I just went this route. It was a little costly. I probably could have saved myself at least 50% what I spent on this versus making my own, maybe even a little more, maybe a little less, depending on the route I went. This is just what I chose to do. You don't have to go this route, but to me it was just a lot easier, simple, kind of a plug and play and get things up and running. So stick with me. I'm going to give you a look-see inside. Sorry about that. And show you what it kind of looks like. This is from my local retail big box company. It is a 10-gallon, as you can see. Drinking water cooler from Igloo. I went with 10 gallons because if you're trying to do a 5-gallon batch, you're going to need some room for at least the water that's going to go inside there with the grains. So you're going to have a good amount of size overall to be able to hold all that product. Now if you're going 10 gallons batches, you probably want to jump up to at least a 60-some quart, or even maybe bigger. Or even do like, I've seen some videos where a guy in California, he runs 2 10-gallon coolers and collects from both and does 10-gallon batches. It's all up to you. That's a great thing about this hobby. You can custom it to your own tailor and likings, and do you the way you like to do you. There's no standards or exact way you have to do things. So give me a second to set this camera up. Sorry about the video, the audio. I'm kind of working on a iPhone, but as the channel gets a little more popular, and who knows, I might be able to get some more equipment. Like I said, I'm not paid by nobody, so donations are great. So here, let me get this set up, and then I'll give you a look-see inside and let you see what I got, and we'll go from there. Thanks. So as you can see, I got a Foss bottom here. It's all stainless steel. There's slits already pre-cut. Then we have a fitting that comes up to a 90-degree angle fitting, and then from there we go into another compressing fitting that we have a stainless steel tubing, and then it goes over to the wall And then we have a gasket with a locking nut and a washer there. It's going to make a good seal. So this is actually raised up off the bottom a little bit. It's kind of like a dome. The bottom of that elbow right there actually has some pre-cut slits in it, which keeps it from completely touching the bottom, so it allows the wart to actually come in. And then as the wart drains out, it comes out and goes out the fitting out here. So yeah, pretty simple, a little costly. Got it from my local brew shop. It actually fits this perfectly. The right diameter, the right fitting. You just have to kind of play to get that elbow setting right down on it where it's making slight contact but still allows the wort to drain. And you adjust that locking nut on top, and then pretty much make the fitting up against the side of the cooler. Put your gasket lock nuts and compression fittings, and you just put the tube in between and you kind of tighten it all up. So yeah. And then from there we come out here to the stainless steel valve that I have. And it is actually set up with a barb fitting. I might go to some compression fittings, I guess is what they call lock fittings, or I'm not really sure, but you can just pull them and click them on like an air hose. Right now this is going to do what I want. I'm going to put a piece of silicone tubing on there and then drain it on down into my wort kettle. Sorry about this mess underneath. It's I was sitting on that stool and that damn thing gave out on me, so I guess I got to lay off some of the beer or get a sturdy stool. Give me a second and then we'll get right back to the overall video. Okay, so I'm back. I was trying to find the name of the company that makes this item, and I thought it was actually on the packaging that I picked up from my local brew shop, and I didn't find it. Seems like I've seen them give me a second. Okay, so after looking it up on the internet, it's actually Adventures in Home Brewing is where this item is actually advertised on the internet. I do believe my local homebrew shop probably got the item from them because it looks exactly from the pictures on the internet. Looks like the exactly same item. Same price that they offer online is what my local shop charged me. They have a 5-gallon Foss bottom for the coolers if you went with a 5-gallon, and then they have the 10 one like the one I got. So yeah, so far we're doing pretty good. I got my mash tun, which is a very important item in the process, so I can actually get my grains and strike water in there and get them steeping, any additives that I want to put in there, and then 45 the hour, however long your recipe calls for, start extracting that wort. Then you're going to rinse them, either fly sparging or however you're going to do it, and then drain all that wort, and then we'll cook it off, add our hops and pitch our yeast, and we'll have some beer in a few weeks. So just wanted to throw this video out. Gathered up one of the items on the list, so now we are one step closer brew day. The next item will be the sparge kettle. And this is going to be kind of interesting to see what I come up with. I'm thinking that I might go with a 2-pot system versus a lot of people I've seen they'll take their wort kettle and bring their strike water up and get the strike water into the mash tun, throw the grains in, and then have a vessel to drain the wort into, and they use that wort kettle again and start doing their sparging. So I'm going to try to go with a 2-pot system if I can, see if I can figure out how to set it up and see if I can get it working. I think I might go with a fly sparge. Don't quite know yet. That's still in the process of elimination or trying to make some decision on what might be easier. I'm all about easy, not doing things hard. So yeah, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, go ahead and thumb it down. It ain't gonna hurt my feelings any. Like, share, subscribe. I do appreciate you showing up for this one. Got plenty more coming. See if I can start cranking these out. Get closer to brew day. I'm very excited to get my first batch out and then see how it comes out. I'm sure it's going to take several batches to get the overall process down and get it homed in, where things are just simple, and then from there we'll see where we go from there next. Any tips, suggestions, I will gladly appreciate. Leave in the comments below. Yeah, not much more than that, except you know, keep on brewing beer. If you got one, drink one. And like always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time on Who's Your Homebrew, and you have a great day. Thanks.